for staying with us. We're still talking about Alzheimer's on the show. When this disease manifests, how does the person enjoy? Does the person still enjoy life, laugh, play, or is the person just like a statue wasting away?
Okay, well, as I said earlier, the disease progresses. It goes through different stages. Okay. So that is why it is important to diagnose it early. When it is diagnosed early, the patient and the caregiver and the relatives of the patient can be counseled properly
on how to handle
it.
Let's take Chukwuka on the line. Hello, Chukwuka. Chukwuka, are you with us?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is this. What is the preventive measure that one can start early? This is for people who are in their 60s and above. What can one start doing from, say, 40 or earlier so that we can prevent this from coming on? Is there anything like that? Because I'm already well into the 60s, but I'm worried about, in fact, I put some fear into me already with what you're saying. I want to know what I can advise other people who are ready to prevent this Alzheimer's. Is there anything? Because I read about fish foods, Mediterranean foods.
Thank you, Chukwuka. We'll get into that. Let me take his question a little bit further. People talk about diet. They also talk about exercise. Then they talk about socialization, making them meet other people, like keeping the brain active. Yeah. Is this true? Does this help, delay onset or maybe, just make you escape?
It's very true. It's very true. There are preventive measures that somebody can adopt. So physical exercise or being active physically is one thing. Then regular exercise, diets that are rich in vegetable, omega-3, fish oil, and all those things. And then treating other conditions that have been known to be risk factors, like hypertension, controlling hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and all those things. So we can actually, there are some of the risk factors that are modifiable. Okay. Some are not modifiable. For instance, you cannot modify your age. That one, you continue to grow. But there are things you can modify, so you can be more active, you can do more exercise, you can eat good diet that is rich in unsaturated fat, rich in fish oil, Mediterranean diet, and all those things can actually help.
Dele is asking, what's the connection with aluminium? Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, we see is a little bit controversial, but some studies seem to link aluminium with Alzheimer's or dementia. So aluminium consumption by various forms, either through diet or through all this perfume and all those stuff. So aluminium has been linked in some studies, but it's not conclusive. So that is what I would say.
Now you spoke about one of the symptoms as wandering.
Yes.
So let's just imagine there's an Alzheimer's patient around. Can he get up, open the front door, and just walk away?
Yes.
And then forget where home is?
Yes.
That means that we could have some Alzheimer's people suffering Alzheimer's walking the streets.
Yes.
The next thing everybody says is gone crazy.
Yes.
How do we prevent that?
That's where one of the callers asked a question, and that is where I want to come in. Now, you see, prevention of that is also an holistic thing. The caregivers are very vital in this area because the patient at that point does not have enough insight into what he or she is doing. So it is now the responsibility of the caregiver to prevent something like that from happening. So the caregiver, either the children or the grandchildren or those that are employed to take care of the patient, has to be very vigilant to make sure that the patient does not wander around. Now, I have seen some cases like that where the patient just leave the house and wander away for days the patient cannot retrace his or her step back home, and that is one of the problem with Alzheimer, inability to navigate some environment due to problem with the brain. So I think the caregivers and then the government also have to come into that. It's not everybody that is walking on the street that is though Alzheimer, psychotic problem, depression, all those things may be as a result of Alzheimer, but at the stage at which the patient is wandering around, it may not necessarily be that the patient is psychotic or anything.
Okay.
It's just because of the primary problem of inability to navigate environment.
Yes,
so those
memory loss as well.
Yes, memory loss. So those kind of patients, they have to be prevented from going on the streets. The caregiver has to do a lot of work.
So it's basically somebody at home
Yes.
should be helping out.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming to the show,
Thank you very
Doctor. It's been really quite insightful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us, and all those questions. We know that this is something that medicine has to be looking into for years to come. Have a wonderful day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.